tired.
Look,
Why
it's
are you
Foss.
tired?
She's got a headache. It's funny.
Hey,
Nice.
Oh, wait, hold on.
The part of her brain that remembers what ibuprofen is
I
isn't
think it's,
gone.
okay.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Why did it change?
What?
Wait.
It's
I have to
working now.
redo everything.
Why do we have to redo everything?
Well, no, I just have to change the thing. It's fine. Just start talking.
Yeah,
Or we'll have to start over again. So just start talking.
Land of the Lobsters, very cool.
Yeah, Land of the Lobsters.
She goes underwater
you
to...
do see it, right? Right, Jaws?
Yeah, it's there now.
to
I think
meet
the thing where it was really cool is
fish.
the title not being correct, I assume. Or whatever.
Ahoy. A nice nice font there, scans later. Not Times New Roman, seriously? It's CC Wild Words all the time.
And translation that I read of it
Yeah.
instead of whatever you guys read.
This one, they probably call him the emo for immortal or some dumb shit. Anyway. Yeah, this is... So what's happening? Foss is new head. She's smart now.
Yeah, that's a big change.
Yeah, she's figuring out...
Yeah, they continue to not really have a main character because she changes irreparably every few chapters.
The whole conspiracy and all the questions Foss has been like wrestling with for the whole series, finally she can make some headway in now because she has a new head. Like, yeah.
Headway?
Yes,
that's
I'm very smart. Yeah. Man, I can't believe characters have died. I'm sad now. This hadn't really... I mean, we had seen people like get taken to the moon like in the scene, but that felt like more action-y. It's kind of sad to just like go to sleep and wake up and be told like, yeah, they're not around anymore. Be like, ah, fuck.
But the funny part is, with Force they lose 2 people in a single year, and without Force they lose 2 people in 102 years.
Yes, in 100. Yes, they're much more organized. Bork just defended everyone because there was no one trying to get eaten by Lunarians on purpose this time. Yeah. So yeah, it's been 102 years, which is not even the crazy long skip by the series standards, but yeah, we have some new characters and
surprise color pages.
Yeah, I like this. It's a different dynamic because so far all the pieces she's assimilated haven't really had like their own personalities in that way, but now because it's like someone's head, it's like almost she's similar to how Ghost Quartz was
a little bit
with having what's his name, the super long one, Cairngorn, yes, thank you. There he is, aka Antark. Antark point 2. Yeah, for 2.0. There he is. Yeah, I like how Cairngorn is just so sick of having to deal with all this bullshit all the time. And Foss gets 2 new groupies, which is cute. The new version of...
Yeah, of course, Knight and Morganite.
Thank you. Yeah. There's a lot of names in this series.
Yeah.
If only there was a simple way of, of giving them a consistent theme that let you look and know them at a glance.
Indeed.
That is, intrinsically tied to their fucking name, perhaps.
I don't know why you're talking I was gonna say, it's funny how the new gems get, like, they kind of like idolize Foss as like this almost like celebrity figure because they hear tales because she's like a badass who defeated a bunch of fucking Lunarians even though she sucks at protecting people, because we've known Foss since the beginning, since she was a bumbling dumb fuck who never fought.
Yep.
Yeah, like it's... I wonder how many of the gems think back to that. Maybe even they've kind of forgotten just because she's been this way for so long. I mean, they still remember if they tried to, but... Yeah.
There's like a little section in maybe even this chapter or the next one where Foss tries to remember the stuff about the sea, and they go over the reports, and it's just them basically reporting Foss's failure.
Yes, that's right.
And Foss herself is embarrassed about it.
They're like, idiot Foss got eaten by a fucking snail, and then she turned into a bug. Wait, never mind. That was freaky, like hearing stuff from so many chapters back being like talked about here as like historical reports did feel weird to me, like reading it. Like there's not, I mean, again, it's similar to Your Eternity, is like these are some of the few manga that have such enormous time scales where that could occur, where like stuff from early in the series has fallen into like legend and history and myth is very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it comes up later with the new Admirables and how Voss's name got butchered by them over time.
I did like that too, how they have to acknowledge that like the Admirables, because they're organic, they die, but we can't see the nice little Emperor of the Sea from before, but instead we get a descendant who looks basically the same. So it's all cool. That's so cool.
It's all right.
It's funny that multiple characters, including Foss, are latched on to, I forget her name, but the person with all the circular holes in her, where they're trying to put her back together. Yeah, that's right. Big P, as she's called.
Yeah. Also, real quick, how cute were Morganite and the other one in the swimsuits? I like this. Again, not beating the boy allegations here, but I mean, not beating the girl allegation. Fuck, I used it wrong.
I was wondering what.
No, sorry. I'm beating the boy allegations with my fists. No matter what the scanslation thinks of with its constant he's. Yeah.
Hey, there's the professor. Well, the version of her.
Yeah, I really like that panel where she slices it in half, and you see like the two halves. Looks very cool. It's very a samurai movie.
Yeah.
There we go. Ka-chow.
And it's the first let's say creature or so that the sensei cannot attack.
Yes. Yeah, we get, I like all that interesting stuff with him. Like, I like how she just confronts him in front of all the other gems, and they're all horrified, and he's just like, yeah, it's like she's like fucking Nadeko running into the classroom, like, fuck this.
Yeah, like Reina from Higurashi.
Yeah, this is funny in hindsight too, that he is talking like, I can't answer that, I can't say anymore. Yeah. And then when you find out he's basically a robot, that makes total sense, because that's exactly how a computer would respond to, like, I do not have the permissions to reply. Like, that's really funny.
Yeah.
So, go on, Grin. You say stuff.
Yeah. This is one. It's weird that I was playing Rain World yesterday and today, because this is becoming so similar. Maybe I wanted to play Rain World subconsciously because of this.
Maybe
that actually wouldn't be weird, because it's turning into such a weirdly conceptual situation where, talked about Rain World years ago, but the whole thing with Rain World is it has the most overpowered lore in the history of anything, especially video games, where you think you're a little funny, slug cat creature trying to get some food and find your family. But then it turns out you're actually in the middle of this massive civilizational conspiracy, the Attain Enlightenment, dealing with corrupted spiritual technologies and being trapped in the cycle of rebirth. And then you go to the moon, and it's kind of the same thing. So that happened twice.
Yeah, we have not gotten to it yet in the podcast, like for that section. But I've said this before. The base concept, the premise for Land of the Lustrous is probably the most unique one I've ever encountered, and the only other one that does seem similar is the small parts that I do know about Rain World lore. Like,
that's very interesting. I'm a big fan of how far it goes into being like this all-encompassing like series of like ecosystems where every little bit down to the cellular level is accounted for. It is very impressive and rarely done for logistical reasons, because it looks like a pain, but it's a good payoff. Very cool.
We will get.
How are we trying to be coy here, or are we gonna?
Well, no, I just said they're doing like chronologically.
Yeah, I was just remembering like funny, cute moments until we get to the shoe drop. But yeah, I was surprised at how early we get to the moon. Like I I thought we would be getting to the
this is
moon
halfway through the series.
Yeah, but I thought
so-
it would be near the end. So like at least the 75% mark, probably the 80 or 90% mark. Like it's
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't a mystery box.
I wasn't saying I wanted that, but yeah, we get Congo isn't a human, which I kind of figured because he's 15 feet tall and shoots crystals out of his arm. But the Foss doesn't really know what a human is anyway. So
yeah, like no one does.
yeah, she's just
No
heard
one
of
the
this.
gems, at least.
It was funny he lied to her when she asked
Yeah,
what she had told him. So it's because it's interesting because he's like a robot machine man, but he still genuinely loves them apparently, and he makes little choices depending on his. I guess you could just say his programming is so complex that it allows him to make choices. Like some part of him thought that mentioning humans is dangerous because they might make connections and get involved with the moon. Yeah, which is
there's
bad.
this really cool little detail later on in Foss's conversation with Acmea where he says that Adaman did not make machines because it might make the gems realize that Congo is one.
That's
Adaman
right.
is one.
Yeah. Yes, he never built machines of his own. Yeah, that was odd. But yeah, we get also that was a weird little choice too. The whistling language is.
Yeah, it's not a language. It's just them breathing. Like they say something about the atmosphere being
it is
unpleasant to
I
them.
thought they were like, but they're like
They're not
communicating
talking.
through like whistles, aren't they? Oh, okay. Maybe I misunderstood.
Maybe they are, but
I thought it was something because she like tries to talk back to them through her.
Yeah, she tries to mimic it, but nothing.
Yeah, and they're just like fuck off.
happens.
But yeah, then she gets caught and taken to the moon, and this is where shit gets.
Well, I mean, it's
fucking-
more like she sets up that she gets taken. So
oh yeah,
that
that's
no one
right.
suspects that
Karen
she
Gorn.
corrects
Karen Gorn is
Gorn.
is an actor. Yeah, and he's like, no, he is a stupid
I like
idiot.
this little-
yeah,
This little scene where she says, "Oh man, who would have thought that you're such a good actor?"
yeah, I like that. Too.
And then we got the coolest thing.
Yes. Yeah, this was fucking insane. I like how they're
Yeah,
full.
this was very tricky.
What the hell? Scans later put a fucking Heisenberg as my reaction to the information. What? Okay.
I didn't notice that in my
Yeah,
scan.
I like how they literally when they literally like let their hair down and they're like much more. They've just not been showing
Feminine.
personality on Earth because they're like because the atmosphere and because of all these reasons because they're acting in a weird way.
Yeah.
Also, I noticed the architecture
this
looks.
page, man.
Yeah, this is
It
that.
looks like
This is
a-
that crystal, bismuth. Yeah, this is what artificial bismuth crystals look like, and it's really cool. And we haven't seen a
Yeah,
bit.
it also reminds me of like a computer circuit. I know it's supposed
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
the
No,
the
that-
gem
that-
thing, but
That makes sense. So they're both rectangular square grid things. Yeah, it looks awesome. Yeah, the
It
stretch
looks
has some of
great.
my favorite artwork in the series so far. There's so many great panels, and the fucking the reveal that what she's standing on, that the surface of the moon is ground up. All the gems have been ground into fucking smithereens. Like good luck gluing them back together. The reason was, if I recall, is that they wanted to like make the moon really shiny as
in the long term.
as like
imagine
a
how long that would
taunt.
take.
Yes, cover the entire. Well, I guess half the surface of the moon because it's
Well,
locked.
I think the implication there is they're just trying to come up with anything that might antagonize
They've been here
Sensei.
for so many thousands of years. They keep
For
trying to like goad
10,000s
him.
of years.
Yeah, with everything from chessboards to pet dogs to strewing the remains. Yeah, at first they tried like bringing back like artificial versions of the gems as like weapons and stuff.
Right, it's like another big reveal.
it's like
all
a reveal.
The recaptured stuff isn't the original.
It's not
gem.
real. They
Just
make them almost the same, except they have none of the impurities that allow for the the life form cell thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
They were trying to like cover like strewing the bodies of your like enemy's family like across your lawn to try and goad them into attacking. Like that's horrible. But they act so like matter of fact about it that it's like it's weird because like the moon people don't really have, I wouldn't call it like malice. They're just like, it's just like desperation, and they're so tired because they've just been up here like trapped essentially in limbo, because they're kind of like, it reveals that they're kind of like souls that couldn't cross over. Yeah, they're essentially like ghosts.
Yeah, the concept is just great that we have all these
it's really
impure
cool.
souls being stuck
And
on
the whole the concept of
for.
like exactly praying, and that to make a robot to like pray for you. It's so fucking cool. I love all this
there's
shit.
no more humans, so good.
No,
that
exactly. But that's
I mean,
fucking great.
That is such a weird idea, because the whole idea is, they're human souls that have been separated from, the body and the mind. Wait, is it the body and the mind? Which one is
the?
It's a body.
No, bones, flesh,
soul,
and the soul slash mind. It's because like the mind completely removed from physical reality. If you can't do anything, you can't actually change anything about yourself if you're just like a mind, because you can't interact with anything.
Yeah.
So they're just stuck there. I think they did do a great job of having the moon people, the Lunarians, hang in this weird limbo where you're never quite sure how sympathetic you're supposed to be to them.
Yes.
Or how malicious they actually are. Because, Foss goes up and they're going to kill her, and then they're all giggly, and then she learns that they've ground up all the gems and spread their particles across the moon. It's like imagine if you were trapped in a Minecraft server for all eternity, and you're just thinking, okay, how can I make the other person react to something? It's like, I'll make a giant statue out of pure diamonds. Saying fuck you, that they can't see anywhere they go.
Stole from the person that you're trying to.
I love too the air of like, there's like a air of like opulence and like sophistication here, but it's like bored. Like, I don't know, it reminds me of stuff like Elric's, like Melnibone in the Elric books, where it's like a bunch of people who've gone so far past like luxury and class that they don't even like care. Like, it all bores them. They try like, he puts on this like 1920s like dapper suit on, and he's all handsome, and they're having like posh cuisine with like an amazing vista and stuff, and it's like, it's all meaningless. It's just like, it just shows that it just makes you feel like they've tried everything to entertain themselves, and nothing at all is even remotely pleasurable or interesting to them. Like, they're so over. This is like the human psyche run into the ground. Like, it has no escape from the fucking tedium of life, from eternal existence. They've just tried everything.
It's completely disconnected from the little, bumps and jostles of day-to-day existence.
Exactly. There's no consequences. And also just the
beginning and end that, bodies put on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really great reveal. Did not disappoint with the whole what's the deal with the moon stuff.
Yeah, I gotta say, this is probably
Yummy,
as good as they possibly could have done with having this bizarre mystery hanging over them.
Yeah.
Because mysteries are always a little disappointing, but this does give them a lot of places to go with.
So much of the enjoyment of the mystery is wondering what it could be, and maybe even coming up with your own theories, and then a lot of the time you get disappointed if it's not. I won't say it always has to be something really good, but it normally has to be something like unexpected or clever, or makes you go like, "Oh, that's neat." Just like anything. Like, that feeling is worth everything. And I could never have guessed this is what the deal would be. So
like, good job.
Exactly. So yeah, what happens?
I mean,
go on. No, say more stuff.
I was gonna say, I mean, I suspected, as I think you're supposed to, that the Lunarians are not completely malicious, and maybe they have their own reasons for what's going on.
Yeah.
Obviously, Sensei being suspicious feeds into that. Them having fundamentally good reasons for what they're doing, but moment to moment they're absolutely extremely malicious was interesting. I wasn't expecting that.
There's also just
yeah.
to keep in mind the fact that they themselves refer to themselves as impure souls already tells you that they they're not the best of people.
They wouldn't have been the best people in life. Correct. Or at least they didn't pray hard enough. One thing I like about it is that I had, like you said, I had my suspicions that they would have motives, but I was expecting something much more inscrutable. Like, it would be more of like a kind of like mystical religious thing, because the way they act on Earth is so like holy and like spiritual. Like it seemed like their motives would be not understandable to us. I didn't expect their motives to be not only so simple and relatable, but also so like silly and goofy in many ways. Like, so many of their schemes are just like silly, like throw spaghetti at the wall. Like, I don't know, we thought it would be a neat idea to grind people up and turn them into arrows. I don't, whatever. Like, we've gone through all the logical stuff. Now we're like, why don't we make a dog out of dead people and throw it at someone's head? Like, let's send out a snail. Maybe the snail will work. I don't fucking know. Plan ZA 63. Yeah. Like, I think it's funny how like goofy they are in a way. They're not like this holier than thou fucking species. They're perfectly they're just like miserable human adults. Yeah.
I thought there was going to be a chance this was a thing where, the gems are actually in purgatory and the Lunarians are, I don't know, angels or psychopomps that shuffle you into the next world.
Yeah,
and
I was half expecting
heaven,
when they went...
Which is kind of true, but it's for them, not for the gems.
When they went up there, I had half been expecting earlier in the series that like all the gem people would be just fine, just like living up here. Like, it would be like she would happen upon this like garden of all the gems who once left, like frolicking around, like, we're so happy up here, Foss. Why don't you stay? And no one ever leaves because maybe it would even be like a creepy, like those sci-fi stories where it's like some alien like grants your every desire and you get like kind of like almost hypnotized into like a heavenly thing, like they're in the Matrix, and then the Foss like, no, you have to remember all your friends back home. This is just a fake projection of like paradise. But no, it was just like, no, they're all dead. Sorry. So then a guy gives Foss makes like a deal. Yeah, essentially the what is it, like she needs to essentially convince everyone to side with her against Congo.
Foss like obviously sort of relates with what they are saying, and she gets the idea that the one thing, or one of the things that Adamant might not have experienced yet, is the gems betraying him out of their own volition, and that's what she then proposes to Prince Acmea. I really like the cicada guy.
Cicada's very funny. And Acmea, he doesn't like being called by his name because they don't like names here. But then they all kind of realize that
there's a little bit more to it that will be revealed later.
What they say here is something like that the names remind them of like their failure or whatever, but then the rest of the people here who aren't the prince also realize that they're very useful just for being able to refer to things, so they all kind of gave each other, like they asked the prince to give them names begrudgingly, and they all have like meanings and stuff, which is cool. Then we see this crazy factory, like gem factory, where they do all this crazy experimentation. There's this fucking semen
they have
floating
super
around.
technology that will maybe be used to heal gems back on Earth.
The topic of like putting all the shredded gems back together comes up. There's
when skipping ahead a little bit, when Foss does bring some of the other gems to the moon, they are shocked that Foss hasn't negotiated with this from the start, which is like an interesting little reveal about Foss's mental state.
Foss
she didn't even start with that.
Foss feels more and more like sociopathic as she becomes more intelligent, which is interesting. Like Cinnabar has a bit of a like thing with her with that, because she's like so different. It's been unclear to me, I'm not saying this is true, but a little part of me feels like sometimes with Cinnabar she acts like she remembers her, but she doesn't. Like it almost feels like she just
like she remembers.
Yeah, like Foss almost feels like she just remembers that she should remember her, and so she kind of like but she acts so like more impersonal than she did before. She's so colder that it's almost just like all she remembers is just like this, just like her name.
I'm
almost
supposed to find a job.
Exactly. Like there's all the feeling that was once there is like seeped out. It's sad.
And Cinnabar is the same tsundere as ever. I like this little sort of anime train station confession analog with the wind blowing. So Faust doesn't hear that Cinnabar told her not to go to the moon.
That's right. Yes. Yeah, I like all that stuff.
Yeah. It's how they erased the confession in Shakugan no Shana, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think so. Yeah, I love all this, just drawing-wise, I love all this section with her going back and the upside-down cloud thing and all this stuff is really cool. And yeah, Sakata turns into this big, scary fucking demon boy.
Yeah, I mean, he has the rank of general, and we see he can stand up to board. Like, he must be really powerful.
He's very powerful, but he's also a goofy little guy.
Them hanging out inside of a Lunarian while they pretend that there's an attack and then undo it. Cool. That was the most surreal. It's like when they let you steal an enemy vehicle at the end of a video game. It was
we've gone so far full circle. We're like looking from the other side of the mirror. Like we don't even.
Oh fuck! It's like when you kind of become a big daddy at the end of BioShock. It's like
yeah. Also, to add to all the weirdness that Foss is unique in any way, she's also become the first gem to return from the moon, which is just like it shouldn't be glossed over. Like to everyone else, this is the most fucking insane, bizarre event. Even Congo is like, what the fuck? That's not possible.
Yeah, it's interesting that he just accepts her back without like even doubting her.
Because he loves her, and he's not given to like suspecting his gems of trees, and I love her waking up Karen Gorn by like by his bedside winking. You're like, hey, I'm back. Stay away. And we find, so this becomes almost like, again, the story keeps shifting its like dynamic, but now it's odd that she is like enlisting different gems by like trying to find out ways in which they might be interested in going to the moon. Like there's one who's just obsessed with Lunarians. The topic comes up too, doesn't it? That like they can fix the chick who's full of holes. They can fix the they can fix Cinnabar's like poison.
Cinnabar's mercury problem.
Cloud shit. Like the moon seems really fucking awesome. I would go to the moon. It sounds very cool.
Foss is very, very sneaky about it at first, pretending not to remember much and then just telling everyone.
But also, when you think about it, so many of the gems are in the similar situation to the Lunarians, where they've been here for hundreds of or thousands almost of years, like fighting Lunarians, doing the same thing over and over. And so many of them have like questions that have cropped up, feelings of grudges. Like Diamond talks again about like wanting to live in a world where Bort,
but there is no Bort.
Bort doesn't exist, and all this stuff. And it's like, the moon, just for being a thing that is change in and of itself, is very appealing to a lot of the gem people. So it's she's got her work cut out for her.
Yes, I mean, I kind of feel bad about the amethyst thing, where the, so to speak, the wrong amethyst comes along with her. That's like a little sad.
That's fucked. But yeah, what were you gonna say, Green, before I cut you off?
Not sure. I
Some
will.
Of my favorite drawings.
One thing I keep coming back to is even now, even after some of the gems know so much more, it still feels a little bit like children trying to outsmart an adult.
Yeah.
It's almost like, we're going to throw Dad a surprise birthday party, and we can't let him know it's his birthday. It's a little like that. I mean, I feel like if Sensei was taking this conflict seriously, he would just fucking stomp them in 3 seconds. It's almost like he's letting them do it. Like he doesn't want them to, but he's not going to stop them either.
It's easy mode in many ways, like because he likes them too. So I like
Yeah,
this.
he loves them.
They have all these little play fights too. The guy, yeah, Cinnabar gets like bored or annoyed, so he comes early just to talk to her, which is funny. Sorry, did I say Cinnabar?
Yeah.
I meant Cicada.
Yeah, cicada.
Yeah. And yeah, Fossil's getting a bit scary. Like I said, sociopathic, manipulative, obsessive. But you know, I mean, she's advancing the story. She's a good catalyst for change. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we noticed or pointed out how you and her have the same nickname?
Oh, maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah, because we always call you like Big Foss behind your back.
No, you don't.
And her name is Foss.
She happens to have a homophone of my last name, yes, but that's neither here nor there. As you know, my name is Michi, like Mario. Is there?
Yeah, and
what is there? What else?
Yeah, Foss does try to convince Cinnabar to come to the moon, and Cinnabar refuses.
Cinnabar, as always, is too smart for everyone.
Yeah.
He's the only one with a...
doesn't want to, and is forced by Foss to come along.
I mean, I was really scared during this section because I was like, you know, how part of you is like expecting the Lunarians to, they just land and they're inside of like a one of those like hydraulic presses and it just squashes them all instantly. They go, plan accomplished, and they strew them. Like, what an idiot. I hope we can get another one like that. But he sees the value in having this one conniving gem, I guess. So yeah, they throw them a funny little party and they're like, hell yeah, welcome home. Also, you're standing on dead people, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
I mean,
cool.
to the Lunarians' credit, it's not like they pretty up who they are that much. I mean, they're pretty blatant about
they're
what
still
they're
blatant,
after.
but they could have. I thought it was gonna be much more just like evil. Yeah, the panel of them all on their knees. All of our friends, they're right here. Yeah, there's sand. It's fucked up. On the positive side, though, what's her face is cured. She can.
Oh yeah, Paparacha. Yeah.
Yeah, she can exist properly. And she's like, hey, you know, I never really liked the Congo thing. I don't mind siding with Lunarians. Fuck it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Rutia is pretty broken up about it, you could say.
Yeah, her face is all cracked. Yeah, well, you know, she needs to chill. She's just mad because she knows she's gonna have to be the one who glues all the sand dust together.
Yeah, I do wonder about that, if you actually can bring people back from dust.
I mean,
I don't know, maybe
all the stuff Foss has been through, where she's been like digested and melted and half like ingrained with all this weird shit. I feel like I feel like everything can
Foss
come
is like
back.
a little different, where her inclusions like bind with anything.
Okay, but yeah, am I?
Oh, you're skipping.
I'm skipping ahead.
Okay.
Okay. This is. I thought so. I didn't recognize this. Yeah. Okay. Well.
Yeah, that's.
Is there anything else to say? No.
Other than that, it's really cool.
It's really cool, really good. Still really good manga as always. Shout out to Gucci, who thinks this is badly drawn and equates it to One's artwork for One Punch Man. Good job being wrong. Yeah. What is the? Yeah, to eternity. Woohoo! School time.
Ooh,
we all go to school.
But only once. The stuff with March is basically the meme with she thought school was only going to be for 1 day.
Yes. I mean, I do feel bad, especially considering all the stuff she's been through, like getting shot with an arrow and watching her friends die and being sacrificed
and
at
she's
the altar.
right. She's like a 100-year-old person.
They don't believe. See, this is when kids are talking bullshit at school. They're actually immortal. and they're telling the truth, but no one ever gives them time of day. They make fun of her. They say, haha, this is stupid, 500 years old, lol, and then she does the funny face in the photo, and it's good.
I've compared it to the ending picture from Shining.
Yeah, this is The Shining.
Yeah.
New Year's Ball, 1921.
And then, surprisingly, the mud ball technique works.
Yeah, Mimori showing up for a little cameo in this part was good, because she's the fucking world champion of putting up with bullshit. so she could give a tip or two about living in sadness. So
and a little part of us was probably Mimori. Things weren't going great for her even by Mimori standards. So it's nice that she's basically like intact. Like she seems to have somewhat recovered from all that crazy shit that happened.
I don't think she's intact, but she's found a way to survive, which is what living beings do, I guess. I do love this bit of this is a cute little mechanic thing where, because Fushi threw the computer in the ocean famously through an act of wanton barbarism. But it's funny that he can just remake the computer files whole.
The images on
with hard drive intact, electrical data, magnetic data saved. He's a mystery, man of mystery. They make Mizo cute. I like March sticking all the stickers on. She perfects it. And it's all for naught, because Mizu is going through some stuff, I guess you could say, after
stitching corpses together.
After her last outburst with the kissing and the school bullying and the whole knocker and killing her mom thing, she's not doing so good.
I mean, on some level, isn't it a little bit like, okay, Mizuha, enough belly aching. You've been the center of attention for 50 chapters.
But she's so cute, though. How could she not?
I know.
That gets you very far. So yeah, we got a little focus on the silly occult club, which is funny. I like the Captain Harlock fucking guy with a doll on his shoulder and carries.
The doll is just funny that it's there.
Yeah, and he carries his laptop around everywhere. Like I mean, it gets kind of goofy. Like when. It's a bit later, but when they get caught in the knocker cages, one of them's like taking a selfie and shit. Like they're like taking it like half seriously, but they're also
comic relief.
They're comic relief because they're also like they're amazed that like just anything supernatural and occult, so they're just like big nerds. But
they are shown to be completely useless in the whole thing. Like the strong guy is supposed to open the door, he can't do it. The other guy wants to find a way, has no Wi-Fi and stuff like that.
It's I was gonna say this is the underground lair that was hinted at earlier, because Mimori's knocker, the crazy one who is in the best part of the story, who laughs and gets killed by fireworks, she took one of the Fushi corpses from their big fight down here, and so the creepy the creepy cult, the knocker, oh god, it's been so long. What is she called? Hirame? Hisame, the chick from the first part who was obsessed with him, and he made a boat and ran away. The cult has come to a fucking to a head here. It's like a whole crazy church, and
they have been meeting there for a while. Like Mizua's mother and her brother, the other guy. Oh, no, her grandfather. Like her father.
That's her father. Yeah, it's her father and the husband who we didn't know was when she met him. She thought it was a normal dude, but then it turned out he was also the honeypot, and also even her would be arranged marriage husband is here. Yes. The fat ugly one.
Oh, that was him. Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, that's him. That's him later when he's like arguing, like grab the gun. His name is like Bongo or something stupid. He's like the guy. He's like the guy earlier when she's like, meet your husband, and he's like this guy with an ill-fitting suit. I do like the photo album stuff. Again,
she eats her own fingers.
That's messed up. I mentioned this centuries ago when we last did these, but I do like the relationship with her and her mom, because it's like it does a good job where it's like, you start off hating her, but she, like, when they recontextualize the like selfie thing into being like a memory loss thing, and she's dealing with all this cult bullshit, like it's in the photos, you can tell that there was like a meaningful relationship. It's sad that she's resigned to being a ghost who just hangs around and watches her daughter talk about how much she hates her.
Speaking of that, what I alluded to off screen earlier, the little connection that I found. When they first try to go through the sewers, they don't know which way to go, and they pull out the spirit board.
Yeah.
And then they get answers where to go. Yeah. And they assume it was Fenn and Nixon, the two ghosts that were showing them the way. But later you see Bond going through the same maze, and the ghosts admit that they forgot the way, which implies that it was Mizuha's mother.
Ah, that's clever.
The information.
That's very cool.
Ghost.
That's cool. Yeah, so it's Mizuha's birthday. It's a good time to be had by all.
15th birthday or whatever.
Yeah, and Mizuha's she's not really here per se. I mean, she kind of is, but
half for a while.
They prepared a fun little birthday present. It's a stitched up Fushi who's gonna go to the school and be scary.
Everyone.
Yeah, what did you think of this screen?
Yeah,
I would like.
I gotta say, I'm fine with this. I'm fine with them having a fight at the school with a Fushi guy. I gotta say, this conflict, partially because it's been, I don't know, 4 months of real life time. But this conflict, I think they've milked it for a while. I'm fine with this being the conclusion, but I want them to actually be moving towards the conclusion.
I think we're all in agreement.
Mizuha was great. She was one of the most likable characters, but we have had enough of her. It's time for her to either step into a new role or step out.
The next stretch we will be reading is essentially just the epilogue, and then we're out of modern day Japan. So you're it does overstay its welcome a tiny bit. I think what makes it still good, if not nearly as good as the stretches before, is just the final fights, like the actual battle. Not the battle between Fushi and the Knocker is one of the coolest things.
It's the best section of
in comparison, the whole school action scene is like, I mean, it's like kind of cool, but compared with what everything else that is going on, it feels a bit like, I don't know, it feels a bit like almost like a Hollywood movie in a weird way, where it's like just like have like a flashy,
very repetitive.
Yeah, it's like repetitive, and the characters that are involved, we don't care that much. Like I like Tonari and the sister just fine, but A, if they die, that's fine because Fushi just makes them again, and B, the rest of the people are like the school bully girls who I don't give a fuck about just running around, and it's like, okay, I don't.
It just feels like kind of a. I'm eating my own words a little bit because I was a bit concerned after the medieval era with Bon that the conflict was going to escalate too quickly and get too big. And I was very happy that they reined it in and found a relatively consolidated setting to work through this part with.
Yeah,
I like that. But after the shit that they went through during the medieval era, with the siege of the city and teleporting Fushi and people killing themselves to teleport around. Any conflict that is an action scene at this point is going to feel small in comparison.
Agreed.
So it's fine. Just don't expect this to be this big climactic moment where like, oh, holy shit, the Knockers, they're threatening the local junior high school. Holy shit!
I agree.
It's like,
I agree.
Okay, I saw them devour an entire city over the course of a week.
Yes. This I mean, it does a good job with the artwork selling it as like something creepy. Like it's almost like The Thing, because you get a lot of cool like gory drawings of like spitting blood and throwing its limbs around. Love it in concept, but compared to like you said, like in the siege moment, we had balls filled with knockers being launched into the sides of buildings, and like coming through the underground and through the water. Like we already had like dissemination stuff, so them being in the sprinklers isn't that different, or the blood thing. Like it's
I feel like we're just past the point where the knockers, the threat they pose is physical.
This feels so like quaint. This feels almost quaint like, in comparison.
We can have an action scene, but I am exactly full at this point. Like no more action after this for a while.
The stuff going on with Mizuha and the knocker stuff is much more interesting than what they keep cutting away too during this.
I have fewer problems with what is like shown, or rather the narrative content, and more with how some of this stuff is depicted. It's the same thing again that happened, that noticed the first time during like the Tonari arc on the island, where he skips over certain scenes that I feel should have been shown, like certain transitions, like in this case, Tonari getting the bow. And,
I guess you're into the weapons locker.
Where they are in the hallway, and in one scene, Funa does not have her Naginata. Since she has her Naginata, and then the Naginata disappears again. Just some little sort of oversights in transition. And the thing that freaked me out the most was Miso's father shooting herself. I thought I was missing a page, and I checked different versions, and it's always the same. It's you don't see it. You cut directly to the aftermath of it. So it's like
you see him. No, you see him shoot himself and like fall into the hole, right?
I mean, you see, like, you don't see him like raise the gun and shoot himself.
No, yeah, he just like, bangs himself into panel. Yeah, he has like a gunshot. Yeah. Well, it can be a bit tricky to keep track of this section, especially if you're like going through it a second or third time to recap, because people keep dying and then popping back up again because they have their knocker versions and the real versions, and also Fushi can make replica corpses of people. So there's it's like you don't even know which flesh version of someone is who, and then Fushi goes through every single human that he's ever been in this fight.
The fucking scene where he raises the tower, I was so confused the first time.
Yes, that's like
one of Tonari's allies. And for a moment I thought, what the fuck is going on here?
It is reaching like critical mass at certain points where it's like, and the thing with the knockers is confusing too, because there's still this like weird thing of like, I know, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense if you like go and really like keep track on your own, but what I'm saying is like as a cursory thing, it's also odd because there's like the knocker hive mind, and there's like a bunch of knockers under the floor, and there's like the knockers in each person, and then each person, certain people are like in symbiosis with their knockers, but other people are just literally dead and not in the body at all, and then other people have like given up and are like back seat, and the knocker is ahead. And then also there's like knockers who are acting in an organization as a hive mind, but then within there's a bunch of knockers who have their own agendas. Like the knocker and her dad is like this huge fucking asshole, and the knocker who was in Memori was like this crazy renegade, and the knocker in Mizuha is the one that we've been keeping up with since
the ancient one.
Yeah, the ancient one. And they're like all squabbling. Like, what is the big plan here? Like, what was the plan with this birthday party between all these knockers? Because they just keep changing their agenda. Like, okay, first we're gonna have like this crazy thing where we infect the school, but that didn't work. Well, we're all gonna kill ourselves. But hold on, actually we're gonna kill Fushi. But actually, no, I just want to have a cool fight with Fushi because I love Fushi. But then when he offers for me to infect them, I'm gonna be like, not really, but bye. It's like, wait, what is the plan?
I'll use the word saturated.
Yes.
Like every possible space of something happening has been occupied at this point.
Yeah.
There's so much going on and things are so complicated. They really need to just tie a bow on it and take a step back and be like, okay.
There's good stuff in here, but it's mixed up with a lot of like confusing stuff.
Like this actual stretch, it's fine, but I honestly could have done without it. Like if they had just transitioned to something else from where we ended last time with a bit, less drama. I'm not saying that this stretch was bad or it doesn't add or anything. I just feel like it's a little more pomp and circumstance than they really need at this point. And also, like, we've gotten so used to Fushi bringing people back from the dead at this point. We've gotten so used to Fushi being this juggernaut that can solve any problem physically. The interesting stuff in this arc had to do with the emotional implications of the knockers and, what does it mean to let a parasite just take you over? He said, try not to think about it. The stuff that is really, that we really fixate on this time, it wasn't, the knockers are scary and they're going to make zombies and like crush your head and bite you or something. It was, these little girls are depressed and they're letting the knockers take them over because they're sad and modern life sucks. Like that was the interesting stuff.
yeah, my favorite stuff in this particular stretch is the stuff that how knockers seem to have or be developing human emotions, and it's hard to tell where the human who was in them begins and the knocker begins. Like the knocker who is in Mizuho's dad. Both Mizuho's dad and the knocker seem to care for like their family dynamic, even though it was fake at many points from many points of view. And there's like this thing where Fushi like puts them in the fake house, and he's like got like nostalgia and stuff. Yeah, that stuff is all interesting, but yeah, there's so much thrown in here that it's hard to pick out like the good stuff. Like we said early on, back when you guys were like more tepid on Pure Eternity until we got to like the better stuff. Green, especially, you were saying how like you felt like this was kind of just like a bunch of like almost like little short stories just kind of like strung
like
together.
Vignettes.
Yeah, vignettes, exactly.
Yeah.
And that what changed is that like the framing device became so complex and robust that it became interesting in and of itself, but it still has continued to be vignettes. It's just that we got a bunch of really good vignettes, like the Bon like story when we met him vignette was really good. The Immortals defending a town was really good. The early Mizuha like bringing a bunch of people from the past into the modern day Japan stuff was best. And my favorite, of course, is the whole suicide, insanity, memory, Big Brother, fucking lolicon shit was madness. But those are still kind of like vignettes, and still, if you count this as like the ending vignette, it kind of has gone back to like, yeah, there's like too many vignettes smashed together, where like some of the vignettes in here are really interesting. The vignette with the guy running through the school being a zombie, I don't know if I need that vignette. I don't know if I need the one with the occult club exploring the sewers. But yeah, but there's still some really good stuff in here. It's just diluted. Like it doesn't have you can take so many good solid chunks of like that stretch from like chapters like, I don't know, 50, 40 to like 140, where it's like the real best stuff. This will be mitigated a bit when we have the next like time era jump, but I think it never gets that good again for me, sadly. And part of it is just like the complexity has gotten a bit unwieldy, but there's always still good stuff. And there's one last really good vignette near the end, which I'm a big fan of, so I'm excited for that.
Skipping ahead a little, I know this is not the end of the arc, but one of the things that I also didn't like was how, let's say, easily everything was solved in the end, with the Men in Black showing up,
fixing
they put a little the stuff on everything, Kunari being taken over, and at the end when we have the party with everyone, where we see that the revived Mizuha and her parents.
Yes.
And we also have not seen the fallout. What's his name? Yuki drinking the knocker water.
I agree with you completely. It dashes a lot of the stakes when we spend chapter upon chapter being so scared of getting infected by this knocker Fushi, and then Tonari is just fine. And also we have this whole dramatic scene with Mizuha dying and like lying on the floor there and being like, "Oh, I'll be your friend next time." And then just like
she have like a dying dream where she goes into heaven and
she
meets
sees
her
like
ancestors
holding like a baby, and to me it looks like it would have been like her baby with Fushi, because it's got like white hair, and I'm like, oh, this is like a really tragic send off. And then it's almost like, I don't find it insulting because I like the story, but like it is a bit silly to just how easily, because part of you is thinking, wait, can't Fushi just bring her back? That's probably me being optimistic and wishful thinking, and then he just does, and it's just like, oh right, it's just Mizuha, she was a ghost, she can come back. And it's like, oh.
Okay. Yeah, to be honest, I completely forgot about that. He could do that with them at this point. So
I remembered, but I thought there would be some reason. I thought like, oh, her ghost went, or her spirit went directly like Jean's, like a bunch of characters we've had. Like, oh, maybe she can't be brought back. But
yeah, that's what I asked.
Yeah, but no, she's just back and she's cool.
It's getting a little hard to keep track of the stakes too. Because this whole scene with them fighting the ghost Fushi in the high school is, I mean, oh yeah, it is funny that Memori's brother actually does show up and help at some point somehow.
Yeah, that is the only shows.
It shows up with a silly hat, and his flash
and the sword.
yeah, that's right.
It is just a little hard to track the stakes because we're very far past, people can come back to life. And the situation with knockers possessing people is becoming muddled because, some people like the possession. That's the point.
Yeah.
So just whenever a fight's going on, you almost have to stop and be like, okay, in concrete, practical terms, what happens if Fushi loses? And it's getting harder and harder to keep track of
Again,
what the threat is.
It's not gotten bad at all, but it's like it's starting to show
No. I feel bad criticizing it because it's still a really good manga. It's just getting a little off the rails.
The wear and tear of trying to handle such a massive, unwieldy concept and narrative is starting to show. Like a bit of the like the strain is beginning to appear. The cracks are showing up a tiny bit. It has
to be said a million times. Like, this is one of the most masterful displays of storytelling I've ever seen.
Anyone else would have fucked this up so much more and so much sooner.
People. I mean, even good storytellers, most of them, they wouldn't have done half as well with half as complicated a story. You know, she's like an order of magnitude better than most of her peers.
No shade on what's her name.
It's getting a little hard to keep track of this shit.
Agreed. One of the good moments, though, I do really like the moment of Yuki drinking the water, and then him notice, and then
this page is meme material.
Yeah, this is a good meme page. I wish he would drop the cup afterwards like Kageyaki, and then him doing the fun thing with the left hand is cute because he's had a crush on her forever. So of course I like her nervous face afterwards because it really was the knocker, and he's like, it's fine. I don't mind having knockers in me. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And then we have
and then we have the best part. God damn, I cannot believe, on top of everything else that she's amazing at, that she was like this good of like a fucking shonen action artist and choreographer.
Yeah.
The fucking chair
from the author of A Silent Voice.
Exactly. Comes like a Chainsaw Man fucking fight where it's like oh my god, her like making a chair and then like blocking the attack, turning it into a fucking tree, and then like all the things that come up, giant walls and just fucking insane arrow bullshit.
The scene that I find most impressive is the one where Fushi turns into the blowpipe girl. And,
yes, the reflection in the water drop.
In water drop. That's so good.
It's so fucking insane, and also how fucking. This fight gets like really fucking gory, like aside from just people being killed left and right, but like when we get the big cool reveal, Kohaku, right? Kahaku, like being this like cool action form, dude. She fucking punches through the scabbard of the Naginata and slices her hand in half. Like I was like, oh my fucking god, this is grotesque. It's so fucking cool. I
really like that Fushi like accepted
traps
as a combat.
Yes, but he just hasn't brought him up for like emotional reasons. And the fucking shooting daughter in the head, that was like some fucking Jujutsu Kaisen shit. I was like, oh my god. Just a fucking that's a great like high point, just madness of a fucking fight. And then everything
trying to keep
go on.
Again, like it's strange to get to a point where you can look at a fight scene and the characters are perfectly parsable, but you have to slow and say, okay, who is this? Because every body has like 3 different versions of who could be inhabiting it at any given moment.
Remember Shield guy? Fat Shield guy?
Shield hero. Yeah.
And then they made up and everything was fine. The end. Stay tuned for next time we say goodbye to all these nice characters, and it's exciting to go to one of the funniest characters.
Even this frame is like such a good example. Like three of the 4 people in it. One has a possessed form and a ghost form and a base form, and like I don't. God damn it! There are 10 people in this frame.
That's true. Yes. And also, all the trees are knockers, but you don't know it. But yeah. Well, let's move on from that semi-clusterfuck to. Spirit Circle,
the
best
worst ending in anime history.
It's the best ending. And I was vindicated in my assessment. I
my
like
enemies
this.
better.
No fucking way.
You just like
dude.
it because, remember Kurosawa? You just like it because it's a manga about you. Ugh.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how, but sure. Yeah. No, I like this ending more. I mean, it's, like, this defines like tying everything together. Almost as like this is like the textbook example, because it just brings every little narrative character lesson moment we've had in the story so far, and just like
it's a great
makes
ending.
it a circle,
really
I
is.
guess, the full circle. Yeah, I guess I'll get into it later, but yeah, this first of all, we get some really good stuff with I like emo. What's his name?
What's her name?
Yuta?
No, him, the guy. What's the?
It's you, isn't it Yuta?
Is it?
MC Kun.
MC
I'll
Kun.
look it up.
Okay, whatever. Emo Lafal version of him is really cool. But then we get our
Fortuna or what?
No, him after.
Hold real quick. Okeya Futa is the main character.
That's it. Futanari, yes. That's his name. Futa is being all depressed and emo because he just watched Lafal's flashback with the black hole, and then she punches Lafal out of him. And then we get the best scene, the love confession. I love. It's hard for me to hate you as one of my favorites. And then the love confession with everyone popping out of the bushes, and the girl, the poor cucked girl with the flashlight, like everyone's like, "What, Danny?" And she's also surprised.
You'll get another shot. Just wait until you die. You might come back as his daughter, but we'll figure it out.
Yes. Gosh. Man, I like all this. I like all this crying, blushing bullshit. I love this. More of this, please. The faces are really good. I love the panel with her walking away, all flushed, and him on the ground screaming.
Yeah. I like how they lean more and more into Coco is just kind of playing this by ear.
Yes,
she
exactly.
barely
This
knows
is where,
more than him.
When we started, I was like, man, I find Coco annoying at the start, but I remembered really liking her, so I was confused. I was like, man, she's such an annoying bitch. She's always being mean to him and not giving him the benefit of that. But then it's like, you realize she's just like fooling herself because she likes him and she's a nice person and she doesn't want to have to kill him and disintegrate his entire existence into the cosmos. But it's hard. Also, we never found out who Glasses Girl likes. It's a secret, but it's definitely obviously the robber. It's obviously the pointy-eyed, black-haired one who's her brother in some timelines.
Her cousin or whatever.
Her cousin who she couldn't fuck in Greek times, her servant. Yeah.
I'm going to. This is gonna sound crazy, but in the back of my brain, doesn't someone like the teacher, or they're implied to like the teacher?
No. What? Where did you get this?
I thought that. Oh my god! I don't know. I feel like
that was
the teacher's like a chubby,
sure?
like potato man.
I know, but I feel like I feel like there was a Kuleshov effect at one point where like the panel transition implied that. I might be completely off base.
That's just Futa recognizing that he is like the guy from some of his past lives. I think that's all.
Okay, I thought they were trying to like use subtle tricks to imply that.
You're nuts. I like the.
I didn't write the fucking manga.
You didn't read it either. What the hell? What do you think of like his mindscape? I thought this was kind of cute because it was like. I think it's funny. Like he's gotten a lot better at a lot of stuff, but I do think when he tries to get all like whimsical and like. Have these like Cosmo like crazy dreamscape scenes, it always kind of falls flat a bit because he's not that good at drawing stuff like that. Like this looks kind of like.
No, I disagree. This is what I really like about this part, is that we finally get some.
But it's
really
so like.
Art again.
I could take it.
Impressive,
it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. I find what he's good at is fun little. I think what he's best. Hold on. I think what he's best at is cute little character interactions where you have like a little community of people having back and forth. I'm fine with the dreamscape. It's just not the most important thing to me. Like I think his characters interacting with each other is always better than them navel gazing.
It's just not impressive at all. Like it's a completely. like the concept of it is very kind of like simple and just kind of like throwing stuff like I don't know. I get, yeah, it's like a bit obvious, like space, but there's like, and then I'll add like a little island
like
and a mountain.
The chains.
The chains. I was just thinking that.
Yeah, it is.
Which is fair. I mean,
and also the way he do it. I'm just gonna say, if you're gonna have a big drawing that's supposed to be all like majestic and impressive, then it needs to actually be that way. Like this mountain / piece of stone is no more well drawn or better than anything else.
The framing is a little awkward.
The framing is awkward.
It's in like the halfway mark,
and including like
there.
goofy, cartoony drawings of flowers, and the same thing. You're trying to draw like a life drawing, class drawing of a rock, and then like have like a Van Gogh painting of a bunch of white on thing that doesn't reach the skyline.
They probably should have been standing on the mountain, looking out at the
you could have done a lot of stuff. I'm fine with like I think the scene in of itself, the dialogue and what's going on in it is interesting, but like it's hardly the eclipse or something. Like when you want to get really trippy. Sure. Well, that's just what I thought of off the top of my head. Like I could think of any other number of like manga who go into like trippy dream sequences and stuff like. He's trying to do think of just like the stuff that tries that's fair, but think of the stuff that's trying to like all the like stuff in like Land of the Lustrous where it just shows like scenes of like the cosmos or of like big landscapes, like stuff like that. Like you want something like grandiose and evocative, and it's just kind of like it just feels like a bunch of like assets of stuff he happens to be able to draw kind of like thrown together, and it doesn't really sell the. It's not impressive. I commend him for the effort, but it falls flat a bit. Why is this chapter in 2-page spreads?
I don't know. Real quick, it reminds me Yahtzee complained not too long ago about the trope of mindscapes being these fractured pieces of land and memory that you jump back and forth
or in a
between.
Black void.
He complained about that being a really annoying obvious cliche. It makes me think of that a little bit. Fuck yeah!
Oh, I forgot that this is also here.
They were little people. They were small beans.
Indeed. So anyway, gender swaps are fun.
Only for a tiny.
I take issue with this stretch just because it's.
Yeah.
Like it ties in to the end, but I feel like it didn't need to unless it had been mentioned here. Like there needing to be a last moment to beat Fortuna with the spirit nets, but it's like you could just not have that struggle in the end. Just have them beat him through the sheer tenacity of Futa, and then you don't have to justify the alien backstory with the net. Like I don't understand.
This is the stuff that I dislike the most about the ending is sort of the spirit net MacGuffin thing. Like it would have been way better if that wasn't there and it was just Futa's
the thing is,
it's so
because it's. I know this is me cheating almost to like a thing more, but
it is.
Okay, let me say it first, and then you can judge. That is almost so unnecessary that it's kind of easy to ignore in the grand scheme of things because it's so like. It's almost just like the enemy was left with 1 HP, and then the guy remembered he had the pocket knife in his pants that his dad gave him, and he just like stabbed him. It's like you can almost like cut out those pages in my mind and just be like, oh, he just beat him through his tenacity because it was like 99% of the way there, and then I feel like part of him just wanted to do like a gender swap, past life, quote unquote. This alien thing, I mean, it's funny.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to include this sort of
it's like funny and silly, but I don't know if it's super necessary. I'd completely forgotten about this stretch, and I think I know why. But yeah, it's cute.
Although the design is very cute.
Yeah, the design is cute. My favorite thing about this stretch is that afterwards, when they go on a date, Coco gets to tease him, and be like, "Damn, you're so cute. You should wear girls' clothes, ha ha ha." And they're getting all blushy. Like that's for that alone, it might be worth it. It justifies itself, kind of. But this stretch, I like the date stretch a lot. Is one of my favorites. And I like also at the end, it's like scary because it is implied that isn't really. Well, it's hard to keep track because they're both called Coco, but it's Coco with like different spellings. But that's not like modern day Japan Coco. That's like Fortuna times Coco because she's like very like perceptive and she's like more goal driven and stuff. Like she's acting like super cutesy here in some of these panels, but then the idea is that it's almost like trying to like act as Coco would have if she wasn't. I've shown you all the faces Ishigami Coco wanted to show, that thing. So that's a bit of a bummer at the end, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's a good
story. Also the little reveal that Coco sliced the cross scar into her head is very cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to the big deal right here. The Man Fortuna, best character of all time.
This Fortuna, as we have discovered to our horror.
I am Fortuna. I remembered Fortuna being the best. I remembered relating to him, and he is. It's just this young man is very annoyed that he's a genius and no one else understands, and he's right to be. Why should
which
he?
Is one of the most memorable parts of the manga.
Yeah,
because the thing I always remember is when Fortuna looks at the main character and goes, "Wait, why are you so fucking stupid?" And then I think Coco points out most of his incarnations have been intellectuals, but he's just inexplicably stupid in modern Japan.
Earlier. I don't know if it's modern Japan. I think he said he just couldn't tap into the potential of his brain because he has like personality and security.
No, I'm not saying it is modern Japan. I'm saying current version is the only stupid version of him.
Kind of.
No, I don't.
Some
I
of the
don't
past
think so,
ones
because,
were like
because hang on. There's like this interesting little thing where I think it is. I forgot who says it, but it might have been Fortuna's master who said something like that he should actually do like something with his hands, like he should do some crafting, and almost all of the other incarnations do exactly that. Like the first one is a shoemaker.
A lot of them have
an
artistic.
Architect, we have a swordsmith, we have a knight, and Futa he draws.
Like, he draws and he does sculpture. He does a little sculpture. Yeah, he's in the arts club. He mentions that. He's like, of course, I'm in the arts club. Earlier in one of the previous stretches, when he's in the time vortex and he meets Fortuna, he mentioned something about being a bad student, and Fortuna is like shocked, like, which is really funny. Yeah, it's unclear whether she says he should do something with his hands just because she thinks he'd be good at it, or just because she wants to keep him from doing anything. Well, she says intellectual stuff, it is dangerous for him, but it might have been more than one thing. But the
idle hands are the devil's playbook.
A teacher. This is also relatable to me because I did science and physics before doing art, and before I went to science and physics, I had a teacher tell me that I should do art when I wasn't doing any art at all. He said to me, like, I think you should go into arts, man, instead, even though I had like really good grades and other stuff, and I was like, don't be silly. And he was right. If only I had known ahead of time. Always listen to your teachers.
I will confirm he was right.
Okay. Shut up, Crane.
I'm glad we have arts Michi and not science Michi.
Yes. Okay. Enough. I was gonna say.
Crashes.
Shut up. I wasn't bad back then. I'm bad now because I don't remember anything because it's been 16 years or something. Anyway, I was gonna say this stretch. One thing I like about the stretch is it reminds me a lot of one of my favorite parts of FMA, the Xerxes flashback. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it was an inspiration. Like, I like the outfits. I know this is technically in the future, but it feels like... Yeah, I know, but it feels like old world, like ancient civilization. It feels like Atlantean.
It's like
because it's like post-apocalypse and everyone has like wooden doors and they wear like that. It reminds me of the Xerxes part with like young Hohenheim experimenting with the dwarf and the flask and stuff. So I like that stuff. This is just it's just a perfect story. Sometimes I feel like he came up with this first and then came up with the rest of the narrative to justify this like short story.
I think so.
It's fair.
Yeah, like I really like this good intentions leading to the catastrophe story of like, and again he always has this like a lot of these like it's similar to the Greek one especially, but a lot of these have like the lesson of like essentially just ignoring what's in front of you, not valuing the time you have when because you never realize you're in the happiest. A lot of time you don't realize you're in the happiest time of your life while you're in it. You only realize it once it's gone. Like he instead of stopping to smell the roses and be with his family, he just always is completely obsessed with something that he can't do.
I mean, he's in a way, he is sort of like haunted by his trauma of not being able to
he's
save
messed up by the master thing, but he was always kind of odd from the start. Like, that's the reason she disowned him, is because he just doesn't, his value for human life, which I totally condone, is based on subjective values, and he doesn't just have a moralist objective view of the sanctity of life or of stuff. So he just makes a ghost girl.
Was it actually revealed in like the previous mind thingy stretch that she was a ghost, or was that revealed earlier?
Well, I thought the implication was that because he sees like a ghost on the roadside. When he's going with his master, and then I think the idea was he found a ghost and did some like arcane rituals to recorporize it, sort of.
He used it as raw materials for a new
but
person.
It's unclear whether the new person is similar in personality to what that spirit was, or if it's just like an energy thing. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But one of my favorite things about Fortuna is, even though he's doing stuff in a completely different area, is just that he's such like a dour, kind of like cynical, constantly like frowning guy. The only times he smiles and feels excitement is when he is like discovering and creating and accomplishing stuff. Like, that's the only thing in his life that like gives him that feeling. Or so he thinks. Obviously he doesn't understand how much he actually likes and cares for and enjoys all the people around him, because he acts so nonchalant all the time, but and so he just thinks that it's all about the research and stuff. But I do love his expressions when he's in like the throes of creation and discovering stuff. Like, he's just having so much fun regardless of what the context is. It's so good. He just doesn't understand. He's also a lot like Father in FMA, because Father has countless people. Now, Father was always more of a sociopath, and it's questionable whether Father ever really had any human feelings, because he's not a person. He's a fragment from the Gate of Truth. But since the Gate of Truth is part of God, and God is part of all, and he's definitely like some reflection of humanity. And his big scream at the end, where he's like, "What's wrong with wanting to know everything, huh? What should I have done?" Like, the Fortuna is very much like that. Like, what was I supposed to do? Not uncover the secrets of creation?
Which when we're watching that, I said that like 5 seconds before Father did, and Michi did not let me hear the end of that. I tell you that.
Well, I never said I don't relate to Father. Like, I had that, but as a teenager, because I watched that so long ago. This is the panel I kept alluding to during this podcast. I see it. I understand the universe, like him, just the everything flowering from his head, and he has his little spirit cheerleading squad being like, "You're the boss, man. Go ahead, unveil the secrets of creation." And I love his, again, very FMA, the same way how he like pays his favor to his friend back. The way to save him is he just ends up turning him into like a ghost, but an eternal ghost. And that's similar to how Father repays Hohenheim for his blood by sacrificing half of Xerxes and making him a skin suit, making him an immortal person. Like, it's very funny, like misguided, like thinking that they're doing something nice, but they're doing something horrific. My favorite panel is Coco's fucking reaction when she comes home and sees that East is a ghost. And Fortuna is like, oh yeah, first he kills an entire city by exploding a generator and it kills like 20,000 people, and he's like, what? Whatever, anyway, come home. And then she treks all the way home after him and gets home, and her face when she opens the door is the funniest fucking face. I love it so much too. And it's also a lot of like, I'm gonna super generalize here, but like the idea of like men being like super autistic when it comes to like their passions and goals and just doing stuff without thinking, and like women being more like level-headed and more like responsible and stuff. I love that even though she's like super young, obviously she's just like this kid. She already has enough like wisdom to know how fucked up this is. And Fortuna's like, hey, look, East's okay now. He's a ghost, and she's like in the doorway, like horrified, horrified with her mouth agape, like, what the fuck have you done? And he's like, cool, huh? He's a ghost dad now. And she's like, doesn't even have words. This panel is the fucking master. I want to put this, I'm putting this one next to the Fire Punch one where the guy is doing the smile with his fucking funny teeth, and the one where Guts turns around and is sad. I love it. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, but Fortuna saved the day. I will say, as much as I agree with Fortuna, I don't agree with this approach to saving East. I think he should have tried harder. But yeah, then it leads to one of, I'm sorry I'm babbling, but I love this so much. I love this conversation they have about human life, because it's, again, the two women in his life have given him the same talk of like his teacher and now Coco are like, what do you think a human life is? Like, yeah, but it makes sense too. Again, like there's that stereotype of like, you know, women as birth givers too obviously have a very different relationship to human life. Like there was a funny quote, David Mitchell had a funny quote on he was talking about the comedy motif of people always talk about how men like never go to the hospital until it's like life-threatening, you know, like men will be like bleeding for something back, it's fine, I can, don't worry about it. And then he posited that maybe the origin of that stereotype is that women are very quick to go to the hospital and deal with anything like that, because from an early age they have to deal with lots of, you know, stuff like that because of their bodies. And he says a line in there where he says, women know that their bodies have the chance to, what their life might one day be two lives, whereas men's lives are only going the one way, and like something wrong with them just means that their one life might soon be zero, you know, whereas women, something going weird with them might mean they're pregnant and it might be a good thing. But, you know, it's like they're incentivized to keep everything in good nick and be like on top of that stuff. Men are just like these silly like machines that are just gonna wear themselves out until they vanish. And it's funny that he views life as this just like transient, you know, like state of matter that doesn't really matter, and she finds it's like the point of everything, you know. And I like this discussion a lot they have, because he just spells out like, no, I understand like the value of life, it's just that I subjectively care about East and don't care about those people because I haven't met them. And I'm like, yeah, exactly, that's how I feel about human life. like yeah, I care about people and I value their lives immensely, but I don't care about life in concept, like as a thing in and of itself. I don't think it has any value. It only has value because I've grown to attach to some of the life forms. Like if I didn't care for anyone, I wouldn't care for any life.
You've heard it here first. She would kill 100,000 people for
Look,
each
everything
of us.
only has value subjectively. Like there is no such thing as actual like statements of quality, importance, love, beauty, or anything outside of the human consciousness. So like it's not like the universe cares about what life is.
Fortuna allegations right now.
I mean, he's not trying to.
I'm not trying to. I'm just saying, like, we all live in our slice of existence, the just that moment in time from where we were born to when we die, and what we care about in that time is what we value, and what we don't care about is what we think doesn't matter, and that includes everything, including life, the universe, and everything in it. Like, there's no reason for him to think life is any more important than rocks or gravity, right? Yeah. Look, she doesn't have an answer. Does she have an answer? Does she have an answer? No, the people you care about aren't, but everyone else is. She doesn't reply with anything. What's her rebuttal, huh? Nothing. She just cowardly asks the cops, just like me whenever I try and say anything. She just calls the cops on him and says, hey, here's the guy who killed 20,000 people, as if that's anything to be ashamed of, when he did it to save her dad. What an ungrateful bitch. This is some bullshit betrayal. He should kill her for being so mean. Anyway, I'm done rambling, Green. What do you think about all this?
I'm laying broken and exhausted in a puddle of my own tears.
Okay, fine. Well, go ahead. You say what you think.
It's good. I think Fortuna is not a good man.
Dare you?
we all make mistakes, none of us are perfect.
But
we all
he's
do.
also the okay. Just think about this though. Like all the bad stuff he has done, he is a good enough or at least likable enough person to kind of draw a little family to himself, right? Like in this unit, not only does everyone else care for him or did at some point, but he's kind of like the main guy of the family. Like they all understand that if not for him, their happiness wouldn't be possible. Like
he owns them.
No, I'm just saying he's the centerpiece of this, and he can't be all bad if they care about him that much, right? Like there is something. Fortuna is a good guy. He's just also. I don't think he's he's a bad person. It's just the way. It's just the way in which he's a good person doesn't lead to good things. It's all, like it's something to be said. He's not like a bad person, right? He's just misguided, according to you guys. Yeah. Go on.
What does it mean?
I don't know.
I don't know if I have anything to say about Fortuna at this point, other than it's a perfectly good and functional prelude to where the conflict resolves with MC Kun in the modern day, which is ultimately what it means.
What it means.
I mean, we're slightly ahead, but I did derive some humor this time around, which I'd forgotten about the whole second part, where Coco confronts him as, the necromancer, lord, god, emperor of
I
the
definitely
wastes,
remembered all
where
this stuff.
where he has armies of skeletons attending to his every need and also just doing stuff.
Well, this is
and she complains about, like, why are there baby skeletons? He's like, I don't know. It's an AoE effect. I don't care.
Well, it's great that when she shows up bloodied and wielding a weapon and like obviously here to like throw down against the final boss, he thinks she's like coming over for tea. Like he just doesn't see her not only not as a threat, but he doesn't even see like he doesn't even remember them being on bad terms. He's just like, you were just probably emotional back then, you were a young girl, whatever. Yes. Like here's my cafeteria lady, she's cool. Skeletons.
And I'll inform you that the EC showed up in the chat and said that you have apparently there's a lot of people like him, but he has more power than the average guy, and that has more consequences. So apparently you're right about everything.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason he's an issue. Like, is just how out of hand his. Like, someone with this worldview isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it might be a bad thing when they're in charge of multiple cities.
They should just be writing papers in a prison somewhere.
Yeah, he should have been a philosopher. Or something, or maybe made pots like
this is literally
Jaws was
why
saying.
Colleges exist, so these people can do as little damage as possible.
What is a heartless madman? The only people who ever call people heartless madmen are just like people without ambition. Like they just can't see the big picture is all. Like he's even got a special emergency departure formation for if this kind of thing happens. Like if they put as much work as he did, maybe they could talk shit. But yeah, it's cool.
I mean, the things that I would have to say about Fortuna is one, like his real interest, like the whole reason why he is doing that is because he likes that family and wants to have it. But like he's dying, we have technically dying, and his master died, and he just tries to recreate it, which will in his case just means we have to sacrifice the universe and make it again.
That's what makes it really human in the end.
Yeah, I mean he never loses his real reason is
he's
very
still a
human.
person. Like no matter how sociopathic and detached and weird you are, you're still a human. Is still a human. Like
yes.
Are they?
Yeah, like there's no even a psychopath murderer has some amount of humanity in them. Like that's just what a person is. Like you can't if you're born a human, you're gonna have some human traits. Like
I don't know, like, but if you get to the point where you're like completely incomprehensible to everyone but yourself,
I'm not
like,
saying you can't be less and less human. I'm just saying I don't think it can be zero. Like
okay,
that's
fine.
all. Like, why does this panel where he says they only make me feel sad and disappointed hurt me so much? I don't understand. Well, I will say that really one part that I didn't have as a reading this as a 14, 15-year-old and does hurt really now is his like whole motivation of like trying to go back and recapture a time where he was happier and had like a family dynamic that he misses now. That just makes me really sad because it's interesting how so much of him like expounding upon stuff and explaining and all his logic and all his like reasons and stuff can be toppled, but like by just remembering that fact that he's just sad and wants to go back to how things were, and how that just like pulls out the bottom from under everything he does. And that's the only thing that makes him like make a sad face is being reminded of that, and because he knows it's true. Like no matter what he's saying on the other, everything else he's saying might be completely true and valid, but it's still not for the reasons he ever says. It's just because he's angry that he couldn't do it the first time, and he just wants to turn back time, which is what everyone wants to do at certain points in their life. So yeah, it's just really well done. Yeah.
Isn't it weird how you can be nostalgic even when you remember that on the whole the past fucking sucked?
Yeah, well, part of the reason why you probably didn't feel that way while you were in it, like how, is because probably actually being in it wasn't as good. But the thing is, when you're in it, all you can think about is the stuff you don't have, and then you're trying to achieve towards. And then afterwards, you see it as like a rose-tinted view where it's like really perfect and idyllic, even if at the time it didn't feel that way. So humans are just always pining for what they don't have in any situation, and it's very unfortunate but in many ways it's also what drives people to do everything, including summon a giant ghost fortune. Once again, FMA thing, like when Father does the whole consume God thing, a giant version of him shows up from the big doors on the planet and reaches toward the eye and the moon and grabs onto the bits. Like, this is definitely FMA fanfic, but it's really good FMA fanfic. So
if you have to rip something,
this came out afterwards. This is 2008 to 2011, whereas the FMA manga came out in like 2001 to like 2006. Yeah. Like, it definitely was.
It doesn't feel like FMA.
No, it doesn't feel like it. But so many. There are just so many little things. Yeah, no, I'm not saying it. Yeah, I'm not. I would never call this an FMA ripoff, but it's. I just noticed so many connections that it's funny, and then we get go on.
In just general sections of this part, we finally see the origin of the let's call it the brother character problem that plagues Fortuna and his incarnations throughout all the different time zones, where he just was his senpai eventually.
Yeah, and that's funny too. They point out in the stretch, but it's interesting how all of Futa's past lives, they're like he has to go backwards through them, but the other guy, they're like his future, right? Like Lafal.
Yeah, it's complicated with the.
Yeah, it's complicated because some of them are in the future and some of them are pathologically. But what it means, they're going in opposite directions through their incarnations, like on the circle. So it's interesting. And then we got. Yeah, I like this stretch a lot. It's messed up where he's saying the mom's gonna have stillborn kids and he's taking over. I remembered. I really like the detail of how I like when he goes on the computer and he and he peck and paw types and he's like then he researches for a second and he's like the computer's full of shit, the internet doesn't have one good bit of info on it, and I'm like, yep. He found Twitter immediately
ahead of its time.
That moment in the classroom when he says like you might have been a little like how he's talking about it's the only reason I wasn't understood is because I'm a genius and I'm surrounded by all these ordinary lame asses, and then the guy's like, maybe if you were a bit more ordinary you might have been happier. That really fucking hurts. That really hurts. I hate that. And he gets angry in the middle of the classroom. I mean that's something. That's something I really struggle with, because obviously I'm not like an actual, he's like a proper like smart genius. I'm just weird, but
believe me,
but still,
guys.
The idea that like when you become sort of like, when you come to terms with like being different or being odd, and you kind of like accept that part of yourself, but then being reminded that maybe if you weren't, that's cool and all, but if you just had been more normal, then you might have been happier is like annoying, because it's something that you can't do anything about, but it's probably true.
No, I mean, it's absolutely true.
Yeah,
like,
no, I don't want to. I'm not saying I want to be normal, like especially at this point. But but there is still some part of like what the part of that appeals to me isn't being more normal. It's just him saying you could have been happier. Like that's annoying. Well, it's just being like, yeah. By the way, if you just maybe weren't so sure of yourself, or weren't so like self-aware, maybe like it's not. It doesn't mean like if you were more normal. It's just like if you were. It's like if you were content with being normal is more the thing. Like you don't have to be any more usual. You just have to not find that the idea of living like that to be something scary or like that doesn't appeal to you. Like if you were just fine with having a normal job,
less egoistic,
exactly,
less attached to who you are.
It doesn't mean be less interesting or be less intelligent or be less creative. It just means like if you weren't so kind of infatuated with your own idea of yourself, if you didn't have any sort of like ego about like just working a menial job and just doing it what everyone else does and that being enough for you, then maybe that's actually what the happiest path might be. That's a very scary concept, and it just depresses me.
Well, I mean, past a certain point, it's almost indistinguishable from like suicide in a weird way.
Yeah, exactly. It feels it gives me like a weird sinking feeling of like losing my footing.
Yeah, it's just like, just throw away everything about yourself that you've ever been invested in or ever like seemed valuable. It's like, well, yep, okay, I could do that.
Yeah. Anyways, I really like this fight scene. It was very cool. I like all the past selves being in there, like a silly.
One's just bleeding from the neck.
One from the neck as they kill her. The other one's like, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, we have that whole dialogue we mentioned earlier about how he might be smarter if he wasn't so stupid. But yeah, we see they kind of got into this earlier with the lightning fork thing and the daughters
in the different timelines. Yeah,
and we had a bit of this in Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, right, where it's like, there is causality, there is fate, but also there is a certain amount of randomness, and tiniest little divergences will happen, so it's not as simple as
you
just...
also scrolled like past an interesting section where we find out how Lafal basically got fooled, where he thought that all the souls get trapped in the bodies, and it's actually the souls can just choose which era they reincarnate
that's
in.
Right. Yeah, Lafal having to be confronted with that in the memory is kind of mean, but Fuda stands up for him, which is cool. Yeah, the River of Time comes up again from Biscuit Hammer, which I like I like how much thought he puts into these things, where it would be so simple to hand wave it and to just be like, whatever, the time travel, it doesn't matter, like the going back and forth thing and what direction thing, but it's like, you can come out different points, you can jump around kind of, and then it's cool that it's actually Fortuna, like you see Fortuna, like Fuda and the others kind of rub off on him, where he's like this hard ass, but then when he gets the phone call, he's the one with the incredibly shocked face, and he runs to the hospital personally mid-fight to go see, I'm sure he's telling himself it's just for scientific reasons to see why the timeline shifted, but it's also definitely like a feeling thing, and the babies are his old master and apprentice.
And I think it's him still in control who suggests the name changes.
Yes, and that's funny too, because earlier we had a thing where he didn't want to call Coco Ray. He says it's because it's like the name of a war goddess, but it's not. It's like a goddess of something else. It's just that he didn't want to use the name of his master again for someone else, so he calls her Coco instead. And yeah, I like how he kind of tries to like break the cycle with the brother always being like second place. This I love all this stuff. It ties everything together really fucking nicely. It just feels like I said like some point like it's very spiritual. I mean, obviously that's like obvious, but like it has. I know, but
it's
what
also
I mean
very round.
Okay, smartass. What I mean is that it feels. It feels like it feels true in a way that normally I'm obviously like very like kind of cynical and not given to like flights of fancy with all this like metaphysical and soul stuff and gods and fate and destiny and shit, but the way it presents it just seems to make sense to me in a way that just clicks, and so the feeling of reading it always feels like I'm kind of peeking into something, some like greater spiritual meaning of something. Like, I'm not saying I believe any of this is literally true. What I'm saying is that he has crafted a kind of a cosmology that makes sense to me in the way that it is so perfectly like self-affirming, and it loops every aspect of life really well in and of itself, like the whole river of the souls and the the way that the timelines shift and stuff. I like it. He's good at that. Yeah. So it's like a big catharsis of this ending. And and I like them all pulling together. And I have a big argument here that, it's cool.
Then we have the net, which is...
The net is silly, but, whatever. It's a little blemish on a perfect little ending. And I love this, and I love the ending bit where they... where they want to come back as their kids is like the cherry on top.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much. And it was hinted at in Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer with the psychic, the Magus and the sister. They were like, maybe we'll come back as your kids, ha ha ha, unless. Yeah.
This is one of the most memorable lines in the manga, because I remembered relatively few lines from the manga. I remembered her yelling this and then being, aghast.
It's genius, because in one moment it fixes the fates of, Rune and East, who have been stuck being ghosts forever or since the future. Yeah. And but also it essentially is like a perfect way of confirming the romance, but like by force. Because if the Pacifica himself said, okay, you'll be their kids, then that means that they have to have children. Like, the Earth, the cosmos itself is saying, yes, you will fuck. And they're like, hold on a second. And they're both equally shocked. Like, it's brilliant.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't. I think it was who says that might not be in this timeline. It could be in
sure, but
timeline.
She also
because we don't get to see how this timeline.
I know, but we had lots of moments of her essentially saying like, I don't like hating you and I really like you and this is hard, so we kind of have the idea that she has feelings.
Like they don't like
she blushes about the confessions, even though she says every time she says no, it's never like I hate you, it's like no, because I'm going to kill you. So once that's over with, and then we got a cute kiss at the end.
Remember when she fell and showed her panties and freaked out?
That was really
crazy.
Good. She cried. And then we got the weird fucking four elements dudes hanging out here, and there's
the overseer people.
I know this is like one of his, like this silly Fuji. What's his name? Guy who writes this stuff. Like
Mizukami.
Mizukami. It's like this is a total Mizukami. Like at the end, putting like a little like. More might be going on. Who knows? Maybe
as far as his trippy images go, this is one of the better.
This one is much better. I like this one much better. It's still not like amazing, but it's really well done. Yeah, I like this tree is really well drawn. I like all the rocks. I like the guys. Looks.
I've like mentioned this at another time we talked about it, but I find the idea really funny. what they are discussing, that there are like beings out there that are so much more destructive than Fortuna, and Fortuna had to go through like 7 lifetimes to be cleansed, and there are other people who destroy entire dimensions and they go through 49 different cycles.
Yeah, it is very cool. Like playing pieces on here. That's a clever touch. I mean, it kind of explains the specific thing without getting too much into the details. It kind of explains the alien thing. Yeah, and then we got a cute little epilogue. Everything's tied up nicely.
It's short epilogue. Like the epilogue in Biscuit Hammer is too long, and this one is too short.
I really like this drawing where her hand comes through the panel, and she's like, it's like she's hanging. Yeah. It's like she's shaking hands with me, the reader.
Yeah, it's very like the future devil.
But then gives them, and then this is really cool too. I love this section with all the different timeline.
Yeah,
that really gets you in the heart. Yeah.
This gets me, and them all talking like as they fight Fortuna also gets me.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to admit it, I did tear up a little bit.
I did too.
Which I did when I read this first years ago, and it's like, it still fucking gets me.
I agree. That's
what
I mean.
The handshake thing, I have it I have this handshake thing as like a GIF on my computer that I've used
that's cool.
over the years.
I thought
not this computer, but my desktop.
I also teared up, and I thought I had a feeling this would be like one of those moments for you, because this is very like the end of Madoka 2. Like, this is very much like like lifting of your, all your sins are gone now. Like, this is, all that stuff didn't matter, because in the end we can just make up, and it's all good.
Yeah,
and then she pulls him in.
Hatred go. It's nice.
It's very cleansing feeling, and then it's cool too, because the handshake turns into a pull smooch. I like how
she stabs him in the neck,
the girl, and she bites his tongue off, and then she's got his tongue in her mouth, and then she's the bomb devil. No, wait. I like how the girl who likes him is crying in this panel. Like,
she's not giving him back.
Yeah, then she holds on to. Yeah, that's a mean line too. Like, hold on to him until I get back or something. And she's like, I'll never let him go. It's cute. I like that a lot. I wouldn't mind him being with either of them. They're both really good.
EC said it's so awesome. And
also, I like the dad.
Awesome.
Yeah, the dad, like blushing because she did it in front of him. It's a good finale. And there's like a little bonus chapter too, where it's like original Coco talking as she says she admired Fortuna, which is nice, and her kind of letting go of the hate. That's nice. And then it's over. Mizukami is really good at like ending, like coming up with like reasonable length mangas and ending them well. Like a very rare skill that most Shonen Jump mangaka could benefit from.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I really like about Mizukami. Mizukami is an extremely uneven author, and there's some things that he's really good at and some things he's really bad at. The things that I like, he's so good at having these little moments of catharsis and like enlightenment and characters getting over things. It's like I don't know, it's like the shit Naruto tries to do, but like perfected and really good. Like, Mizukami strikes me as a creator who's like legitimately spiritually wise in a very mature way, and that is very, very rare among creators. And being able to dive into it so directly without making a fool of himself is something rare too. I can't think of anyone else like him in this regard, where he takes like very direct, very abstract issues like fate and forgiveness and sin and things like that, and he can just go at them directly without eating his own ass. I mean,
it feels like he's spent a lot of time thinking about these things always. Like, it never feels like he's forcing anything. It's always just like stuff, like you said, like that he's been chewing on for a long time and he just puts on the page. I think the only thing that is even like reminds me a tiny bit of is like Chainsaw Man, in not like Chainsaw Man isn't spiritual at all, but the little like moments of catharsis that the characters in the story have feel like Mizukami-ish to me sometimes. Like the little like endings of some of their lines where they have like, they'll say like a certain thing that like ties their whole thing together. Like, I didn't go to school either, is very like, it kind of reminds me of that. That's the closest I can think of, and it's not even a very good example.
In terms of what Green just said, what I think of is Haibano Renmei, which still hasn't finished.
Which I have never been able to get into.
I like Haibano Renmei a lot, but it's been a long time. I can barely remember specifics, but I did feel like
maybe we'll read that. Maybe we'll do that next.
It's not a manga.
Silence. Just the line "to know your sin is to have no sin" it hooked me so fucking hard, but I can just never get past the second episode. Oh fuck! One pause. 1 second. EC mentioned Tezuka, which I know almost nothing about, and he brought up the Buddha manga, and then he just said, have you guys read Bokurano? Hey Michi, have you read Bokurano?
Not only have I read Bokurano and love it, I have also read Tezuka and Buddha, and I agree.
Holy shit.
I have not finished.
Bokurano has been a big event in our lives over the last
I've not
year.
finished Buddha, but I know what you mean just from the volumes I have read, and I've read most of Tezuka's stuff. And Bokurano, we had a weird I guess we should have done a podcast about it at some point probably. But yeah,
the idea was we wanted to talk about it because we were watching the motherfucker. We were watching the anime, and then we noticed something was odd, and we realized, oh, this is where they went off script and they're doing original material and ignoring the manga.
Yeah.
Then we learned how bad it was, where the director and the manga guy were shit talking each other in public, basically. And then we read the manga and we wanted to go back and finish the anime so we could compare them, but we just didn't have the emotional strength to actually do that.
I had watched the anime many, many years ago when I was like a teenager, and I knew people said like it got bad in the second half, but I was a dumb teenager. I didn't have any idea of like quality very much, and I definitely felt like a drop, but I didn't think it was like bad. I was just like, it's not that good, but I hadn't read the manga, and then watching it as an adult, I got to around that part and I was like, oh my god, it's ridiculous how bad it gets. Like the production takes a dive, it starts like shitting on its own story, and this douchebag like Hawaiian shirt fucking older Yakuza made up character shows up, and it's like he starts like doing fucking cartwheels, like making fun of the audience.
There's
almost
a bunch of nonsensical coincidences.
It's like a middle finger, and the
everyone is each other's older.
I don't know what the mangaka said about the guy, but I don't think he was nearly as insulting as the director specifically said. He thought Bokurano was like bad and he was going to fix it. And that's insane because I think Bokurano is like one of the best manga I've ever read. Like it has some of the greatest like panels, 2-page spreads, has some of the most greatest like emotional catharsis. But it's sad because that first half of the manga is so well done. In some regards, I think Green would agree, especially like you might even say even better.
I actually specifically, I don't dislike the girl who has like the weird sex thing with the teacher.
Yeah.
I don't dislike how the manga did her at all. It's still very good. Yeah. I kind of like how the anime handled her a little bit more than the manga. Like that was a change that was legitimately great.
Yeah, I don't mind those changes. But yeah, the ending of the manga is really good, and everything that we didn't get animated is really good. Like everything with Ushio and the pilot chair.
I mean, the situation of arc to arc, my brilliant fucking plan for an internet show.
Well, we've all read Bokurano, haven't we? I think Jaws read it too.
But, no, I've only seen the.
No, he has. He hasn't. But Bokurano was on the like short list of things that we might talk about because Jaws told me he hadn't seen the manga. But yeah, the Bokurano is amazing, and the OP is one of the best OPs of all time.
Yes.
Like it's I don't know if it's like is it top 10 or top 20? It's up there. It's top something.
Yeah, I put it at like 13 on my list.
I made a top OPs list, but I don't remember it. I sent it to you and then I forgot about it.
Very funny. I think you did put it in the top 10.
I mean that's not totally a joke. Actually.
It's not a joke, but being like, oh, it's not done yet. Yeah, I'm busy.
Michi, I don't expecting you to spend dozens of hours making something for me on a whim is not
take dozens of hours to make it. It would
take me because I would spend so long. It takes
like 2 to 3 hours to download everything, and then it takes like 1 hour to put the video together, but it's still boring.
Oh, well then actually you are lazy, and I don't like you anymore.
Anyways, the podcasts we've covered what we should. We need a new manga, I guess, because we finished Spirit Circle, so
Wait, that's mine.
That was yours. Yeah,
Yes.
you keep choosing short manga.
No, we actually could just read Bokurado then.
Why not? Fuck it.
It's tempting, but I don't know.
Or we could do Kodomono
Yeah.
G-Con. Let's weigh the options.
Whoa, mister.
Okay, spoilers. Yeah, anyways.
Subjecting Jaws to that would be funny, but it would also probably end our relationship. So, maybe. That's a solid maybe.
Fortuna is weighing his options here. He's like, killing 20,000 people, turning my friend into a ghost.
Yeah, the Fortuna drawing panel, but he's drawing Kodomono G-Con while his head fucking explodes.
And Coco walks in and is like, yeah. I just saw what he drew, and she's on the floor. She makes a shocked face.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. Arctic is back. My internet issues are fixed. We'll get back on the fucking grind set.
I mean, I was kind of like thinking of doing a hiatus at the new year, but we ended up taking a 2-month hiatus for no reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that things will come up again that will derail us.
No.
No.
But thank you, EC, for
thank you anyone
Carried.
for watching.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Over and out. Stopping stream.
Yeah, I learned lessons about planning from this. I'll apply those.
Did you?
Shut up!
I learned